Hi everyone, it's Victoria, week 2 of exploring our self-care. So before we get started, we're going to drop into this moment, to this topic, to our bodies, to our awareness, so we can get real with our self-care, okay? So take a moment with me. Here we go. Just let the sound of this meditation bowl be the invitation to drop into compassion so you can look at yourself, your life, your current self-care with that lens of compassion and acceptance. And I'm going to talk more about that today. But first, really just drop in and let everything else fall away. We're only going to take a few moments together. I know time is precious, so I thank you for spending time with me, but mostly I honor you for taking time to spend with yourself. So breathing in, noticing, how is your body feeling in this moment? How is your breathing? I notice mine is a little strained. Might be in a little bit of feel kind of tight in my belly. So just notice what you notice and call in what you need for this time, for this moment, for this day, for you. And breathe that in, whatever that is. Breathe all the way into your belly and imagine breathing out, down through your feet into the earth to ground you. Okay, so welcome. You notice I have my hair up in a top knot, and I'm going to roll my sleeves up because we're about to get real with our self-care. So interesting. I have to share with you. My idea for this was to just gently move into reviewing our self-care, getting real, but gently and with compassion and lots of acceptance. Remember, last week's R.E.A.L was review with empathy, acceptance, and love. So how did that go for you? I'll tell you how it went for me. I'll tell you, and maybe if there's some practitioners out there, you can relate to this, that when we pick a topic that we want to share and support others with, we get kind of pulled into our own experience, right? So that's what happened with me. Even though I told you to lead with compassion and empathy and acceptance, I got pulled into this, an intense review of everything. Like everything came up. Like all the places I feel out of aligned in my with neglecting my body, my home, my work, and it all came out front and center. And I found myself kind of, I definitely had a fallback day where I was just down. And so there I was witnessing myself going through the very thing that I tried to support you in not experiencing. But this happens. It's okay. It happens when you are a practitioner, a teacher, a soul guide. It's the way that we stay in integrity. I had a mentor once tell me, you're always going to draw in clients that are walking a similar path, maybe exploring the similar wounds or patterns or issues that you're dealing with. Just make sure you're a few steps ahead of them on the path of healing. And that, she said, we're always going to be dealing with our stuff. Yep, so true. So, and that's being authentic and real. And I really value practitioners who are authentic and telling you, yeah, I have tools and sometimes I don't use them. That's what my whole book is about, really. So we offer ourselves that grace and compassion, and remember, put your hand over your heart and give yourself some love. If that's hard for you, imagine a really good friend sitting with you, your best friend. In fact, I did reach out to my best friend on my down day. I called her and was on a walk, and I was starting to regulate, starting to pull myself back, but I needed a little best friend love. And we do until we can be our own best friends. We can never replace our best friends, but when we befriend ourselves and empower ourselves with love, acceptance, and the same kind of consideration and grace we give to others, then we can rise up with better plan of care for ourselves, right? So, yep. So last week, anybody else have that last week? I had definitely my inner critic, my intense judge was front and center, just showing me everything I needed to look at, and it was intense. So, and here's another truth. Since I'm getting real and inviting you to get real, a lot of the posts I create come from a place where I'm looking at my stuff, where I'm stuck or where I know I need to review or heal. And I create a post because I do believe we're so intrinsically connected that whatever I'm going through or growing through, someone out there is too. So, and the more we stop being dishonest with ourselves and pretending to be everything is okay, and pretending with each other, because I think that's part of the issues, that we compare ourselves, which we shouldn't do, but we do compare ourselves, and somebody else seems to have it all together. But there's a quote that goes something like, we're comparing ourselves to somebody's external movie and not inside of what's really going on there. So people are showing us their highlights, their highs, their great things that are happening, and that's awesome. Celebrate those, but get real too. That we're all, life is, it's a learning process, isn't it? This life school that we're in. I really love the quote by Elizabeth Gilbert where she says, embrace the glorious mess that is you, that is your life, something like that. Okay, right? We are embracing the glorious mess. In fact, I'm looking in this camera and I'm seeing it looks like this angle. My curtain is off, and you know what? My other favorite philosophy to practice with: progress, not perfection. In fact, perfection is an illusion. There is no such thing. It is perfection is an illusion that comes out of the conditioned mind. Let's just say that. Okay, so we're going to get honest a little bit more, looking a little bit deeper, but with as much compassion and gentleness as you can. We're going to take a real look a little deeper. So my acronym, which is a tool I use and I invite my clients to use when you're deepening something, when you want to reassociate a word to what it is you're trying to empower. So you take the letters of the word and you find words that deepen your connection or your focus to what you're doing. So that's what I'm doing with you this for the month of March, showing you this tool of using an acronym to deepen your practice. So getting real this second week. Real this week is to recognize everything actively limiting. And the limiting is limiting you, limiting your potential, limiting your purpose, living the life you envision, you dream about, right? So this is where I really fell into a hole last week, because I'm visioning big, and I feel like I got a really late start. I restarted my life in my 30s, late 30s, I guess. Well, mid 30s, I went back to school. Late 30s, moved away from all I knew in Los Angeles and started everything new, a new community, a new relationship, trying to just focus on building my business. And it's been a hard, chunk of time to try to do that. So give yourself late bloomers. I'm one. I think that we, as long as we have breath, we have opportunity to bloom over and over again. And maybe we bloomed in other ways before, but not quite connected to the potential and purpose that we have. We get to choose to start again, and no matter what age we are. Okay. So I love working with women, but I love working with women that got that conditioned message that at a certain age, you just, pack it up, say, I did the best I could and we're done here. No. Because I'm definitely in that category. And there are times, I will be honest, I feel that way. My critic will come, again, front and center. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? You missed it. It's too late. That it's too late thing. Right? I wish there was there is. I was going to say, I wish there was like a little spray you can spray and get it away. It's too late. solution. So the solution is to quiet the judge, quiet the critic with love and acceptance. And again, what would you say to your best friend? You say that to yourself. You call yourself back from there. So here we are. And so I want you to think about, as we look at self-care from this lens of recognizing everything that's, against, or, actively against us or limiting us in any way, to just call it out. So here's what I want you to do this week. Okay. So I want you to imagine that you are holding your best friend's hand and you're just sitting and reviewing your life. You're recognizing, you're saying, I'm willing to see this. I'm willing to call it out. I'm willing to say, I know this isn't my best. As crappy as that feels, and believe me, I'm with you. I'm not living a perfect life. I'm living a life of learning and growing. And I want to say this too. We need to just gently pick areas. Don't, maybe what I did last week was overwhelmed myself, every nook and cranny. Maybe do that, but then come back to what you can do. Okay. What's that saying? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Not that I would recommend eating an elephant ever. Silly. It's a kind of a weird saying, isn't it? So, but imagine your best friend sitting with you, or walking through your home with you, or you're just opening up about all the places you've identified where your self-care is off, where you've been neglecting yourself, your body, what you're eating, how you're taking care of your home or your finances or any of that, right? So remember too, this will help you get into that ability to see yourself with acceptance. We are all doing the best we can with our programmed subconscious material, right? So what we're doing here is bringing compassionate awareness to those unconscious patterns, unconscious, underneath our consciousness, and we're not aware of them, especially when we're creating our patterns. And then when we bring consciousness or light, or the sacred light of awareness to it, it can be overwhelming. It could be like walking into a room you haven't been in for a while, and it's dark in there, and you flip the light on, and everything you see is a mess. Be gentle with yourself. Say, okay, this is my mess. I can do this. As we look at what's not working, we need to invite in the compassionate possibilities. So I wanted to share that I had this amazing experience once that I try to tether into when I'm doing this work. I was coming off of an amazing vision quest. One of my vision quests I did with, and if you don't know what a vision quest is, you go out into the woods, a sacred place, with only water, and you don't eat. So you're fasting, you're drinking water, and the idea is to have no distractions, so you can just be present to your soul, to yourself, to all the stuff in the way of your authentic self and your true nature. And every time I've done one of these, I come out like just shiny, clean soul, fresh perspective, and it's amazing. So I came home, and I remember walking into my cottage I was living in, and I saw everything like I was looking at someone I really loved. This is going to make me cry. I looked at my bookshelf and I was like, wow, look at all these cool books this person. It was like I was watching myself with love, but also like just observing this person that I am. Look at these books that she has, and how sweet, and look at all of her little inspiring signs around her home, and look at the colors she likes. And I could see the mess in my house, but it was just like this sweetness, because because I could feel my essence in the mess. Wow, I've never thought of it that way, but I could see and feel my essence in what was. And this is what we do with our beloved friends. We feel the essence of their being underneath their woundedness, right? And we give such grace, don't we? That's what we need to do for ourselves. So that took me back to that beautiful vision quest. I need to do another one, because that was a powerful place to live from. So you're going to just recognize, and you can do it journaling. You can get a clipboard, do it like you just like working. When we work, take on a job, we're kind of we are more objective and not so emotionally attached. You know how, like, if a friend called you over to help her declutter, no problem. Get rid of that. Do this, do that. Easy, right? When it's our own stuff, we're emotionally attached. We are emotionally connected. And remember, a lot of our patterns have been developed from our negative core beliefs and are created to keep us safe. So even if we're in a mess and even if things are disordered, that's what we know. And so we can get stuck there, okay? So right now, we're just calling ourselves out a little bit more, looking really, really being willing to recognize, okay? And just take an honest look. Recognize everything. Remember to pace with this. You might want to write everything down, but then just take a few of those areas that you want to take some action with, okay? But think about what's limiting you. And what's limiting is like stuck. You're not able to move because you don't know what to do. That's limiting. So maybe you're just recognizing the beliefs that are not aligned with offering yourself better self-care, or the patterns that are limiting you. We're just looking what's limiting your full potential and limiting the self-care you do desire to offer for yourself. So you can write about that, and then maybe write that in one column, and then in the next column write down, what would your best friend say to you about this? What loving encouragement would she give you? What would you say to your best friend if she told you the same thing, right? So this helps us drop into our heart and access our own compassion, and that's where we can move forward. When we're in judgment or criticism about ourselves, we're in fear, and fear is limiting, it's immobilizing. We access compassion, we open to love and greater possibilities, okay? So I think that's all I wanted to share with you today. Let's get real with the self-care. Next week, we'll talk more about practical self-care ideas and ways to be. So this week is International Women's Celebration. I don't know how honoring women, I don't know how they're phrasing it, but for my women out there, honor yourself with taking a deeper look, with just a real compassionate look, because the more we acknowledge what isn't working, the more we can put together a plan of care, a way of being that does support our essence, our potential, our soul, and our purpose, okay? So that's it for today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like and comment. I love comments. And if you're shy, all you need to do to let me know you watch this is put a little heart or a thumbs up or something in comments, and private message me if you have anything else you want to share. But hey, it's a time for us to rise up and be bold. So comment. I really encourage you to share your voice, okay? And say whatever you want to say. I'm open to all kinds of feedback, okay? Just try to be nice. Okay, I think that's it. Be kind to yourself and kind to others, and nurture your life. Nurture your soul. Nurture your potential. A nurtured soul helps us create a beautiful life. And you're worth that. We're worth that. I'm worth that. All right. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you next time.